understand this about the bull market. Not everything will top out together. A lot of people are always concerned about where we are in the cycle. And trust me, I'm concerned about that too. I would like to know, friends, where are we in the cycle? Is it optimism? How's the Wall Street cheat sheet doing? Look, it's tough to pick one coin, altcoin, and tell you exactly where it is. And when I mean tough, I mean like nearly impossible. Okay, you're going to have to kind of wing it. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example of what happened in 2021. This is why you watch me, friends. Like, subscribe, belly button, or highest value content in crypto. It ain't even close. I wish somebody told me this when I was venturing in 2021. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through some coins just to show you how wide the scope is of coins topping at different periods of the bull market, okay? So I'm going to start with this period here. So the biggest, most explosive top that we saw was Dogecoin. Okay, so that was the first one. And it happened, you can actually see Doge USD. Dogecoin blew up and it topped in May of 2021. May, okay? So that's pretty much it. You get it? It did in 3rd of May 2021. After Dogecoin had topped though, in the next like 7 days, I know very, very fast, 7 days, you had this explosion of things like Rocket, SafeMoon, basically all like the hyper deep part of the risk curve stuff. And it didn't, like, you didn't have time to think, man. It's literally 7 days. Bang, 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 bang. Now, here's the thing. You don't know where they are. You're hearing about this stuff on Twitter and YouTube, kind of, but the mainstream KOLs, friends, like they didn't have Rocket. And they didn't have SafeMoon. So they were all just calling them scams. They were shilling their launchpad stuff, their ICO insider grifts. Okay, so you don't hear about that stuff that went up. It's almost like why I tell you, like, Pulse Chain, it's like it's a hidden gem. Remember Richard Archer? It is a hidden gem. Like, you get to know about it early. We get to know about it early. I know it's painful for the most of its life, but it's the truth, man. The truth is, like, we get to know about it early. Gate kept everywhere. You have this opportunity, right? Because these other KOLs, they're going to be speaking about stuff where they're given allocations. And we don't care about what the moral imperative of that is, like the moral prerogative, whatever that word is. Like, we don't, is it right or wrong? Who gives a crap? Okay, it's a game. It's a game. I'll always tell you example, friends. You are Lionel Messi. It's a World Cup. And someone's just told you that one guy, he bet his whole house on the other team. And he needs to pay off his gambling debt, or the gangs are going to kill him and his family. And then Lionel Messi's just heard that. So he's like, oh, do I have empathy for this man? He bet against me. Or do I just put the ball in the back of the net and I smash him? You get what I mean? Like, you can't be thinking about that. If that enters your brain, you lose. You literally lose. So we're not here for that. They're prices. It's digital. Now, that's why I'm telling you, Dogecoin topped out first. Doesn't mean it'll top out again. And if you actually go back to, say, the last cycle before that, 2017... Dogecoin peaks here in January 2018, okay? So Dogecoin peaks at the end in 2018, but in the cycle after that, it peaks first, okay? So that's wild, yeah? Now, what happens is, if you think everything's over, you still miss out on a lot. Because we all know, friends, so Dogecoin tops out, but then 4 months later, so instead of May, if you add 4 months, you get Hex. Hex topped out in September 2021. Now, as we know, friends, the real Hex chart is the Hex ETH chart, okay? Hex ETH shows you the real performance of what Hex did. And I have the Hex ETH ratio right now, okay? So you would see, if you were watching Hex, everybody got euphoric in May 2020. It goes nowhere. And then only after, say, Richard thinks the top is in, then Hex goes on its nuclear run, all right? And you know what? Many people thought Hex was euphoric here. That was the Pulse Chain sacrifice. You see, Pulse Chain, but then it actually hit, you guess it's euphoria up here, hit the 10,000x. So just think about that. Like, everybody, like, was scared, right? May, it all dropped down, but hey, there was still opportunity back in May 2021. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, like, Hex's USD chart, and then that'll give you an idea of, like, how much further it was able to run. It's right here. So if you look at May 2021, Hex hits like top 8 cents. Okay, and then from that point, look at that, it comes back down to, like, 4 or 5, and it still goes on another 10x run. So even then, though, it still wasn't over from that point. Because after that, CryptoPunks hits in December of 2021. So another 3 months after Hex. So first May was Doge. Then the September was Hex. Then you have the Punkz, CryptoPunks, NFTs. They peak out in December. Now, this is something interesting. Okay, I want to tell you something. This is the chart, as you see it right here. Actually, friends, I just realized it wasn't specifically peaking here in October. But okay, the euphoria around this October, November, December, it's still the same, just months later, yeah. It was still high here, okay. Actually, interesting, friends. Yeah, this is the USD price chart. Look at that. It goes and it has this rounding off period. Look, October, November. Yeah, pretty much October, November. Though, luckily for you, I've told you, in December of 2021, right here, see that? CryptoPunks, you gotta understand, friends. Look at what they started off with. They started off with, look at the whole year, okay? They started off at, that's so wild, man. 2021, they start off at $2,500, literally January, and then 10 months later, my gosh, they're 400,000. Fuck, man, they're up 130x in a year. I mean, that's like bigger than what Hex did in that year. You know what I mean? Because Hex had to carry over. Man, that's nuts. So we know Meta 4, they got a crypto loan off their Punkz. That happened in December of 2021. Okay, so even though, so I want you to understand, you got to practice this, friends. Let's say you did have a CryptoPunk. It goes to $430,000, but you are now in, I think when they did the loan, it was like December 17. Now it's $220,000. So it's down almost 50% from that very, very, very peak. The right thing to do was to exit because some intergalactic top signals that occurred. PulseX raised $1.1 billion. Okay, so that was a big top signal. A $1 billion raise. It was PulseX and it was also Paradigm. Okay, so Paradigm, they did a $1.6 billion raise for their fund. How did it go? Or how do you think it went? It probably went poop. Obviously, it went poop. You know what I mean? You literally can't make money when you're buying with billions of dollars. You just can't. Okay, you got to think about $1 billion, friends. It's 1,000 millionaires throwing their money to somewhere. Just think about it like that. Yeah. Like if you have 1,000 people, 1,000 millionaires throwing their money to something, like, bro, you can't win. There's 1,000 of you. You know, so that's another way to think about why $1 billion in one area is dangerous. So also during that time in December of 2021. That's the critical like red alert signal. You know, you might say to me, Somi, is there a comparable that we can look at for the end of this year? Yeah, maybe meme coins. Maybe, like, let's say it was to repeat. It doesn't have to, but let's say it was to repeat. It would mean by the end, let's say in December, you might hear a story, or I hear a story where we hear that a fund, they get like a loan off their meme coins on the book. Like they own Pepe and Shib and whatever else is they believe in. We're like, oh, you're going to remember that. You're like, hey, Somi, you told me once they start adding this stuff on the book, that's custom leverage. Once they start doing that, it's game over. It's like, wow, we hit maximum confidence. And the problem is, it's not that they're all poop, it's that they're all hypothecated on each other. They're all like, they're all liquidity linked, and they all rely on that one bid to hold up, which we know eventually it can't hold up forever because they're all relying on Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example. Something interesting about the Punkz, friends. Punkz are only down 50% from their high now in ETH, on the ETH value. So I'm going to remove the USD. Punkz hit 125. Oh, actually, they're down here. They're like 38, 37. Yes, they actually went down this year. Wow, in January of this year, they were up at 64 ETH. So there you go. Just had the, right, yeah, see how they top the different times? Now, this is where the super alpha comes. Because you're like, hey, Somi, that might indicate just 2021, it's a momentum trader's year. There's buying opportunity. But when the year's over, January next year, that following year, you got to make sure, hey, it could end this year, could end bad, that 2026, that following year, that 2022 year. And for us, 2026 in 12 months from now. Yes, my friends. However, there are some tricks that the market's going to throw at you. And you have to be prepared with it. It's gonna fool us to think that it's still going on. This happened in 2018. We had EOS and things actually got launched and ran like 30% into the bear market of 2018. And guess what? They also happened to do the same in 2022. So Luna, which actually was like the poster child for like, the crypto regulation eventually, Luna ran all the way to March of 2022. So I'm going to have a look at it. Oh no, it looks like the Hex Ethereum chart, Hex from Ethereum chart. But this is what it was. So Luna, this distance was a 1000x. Okay, that's also the amazing part, right? So from the very, very bottom down here, there it goes 1000x. So Luna, right? Look where it peaked, friends. It was euphoric March, April 2022. And you know how tough it was during this time. You want to know what happened here? What happened here? GCR. So we are now into March of 2022. 3 months in. This thing is still running up as Bitcoin's going down. Okay. So GCR then makes the public bet with Do Kwon. You remember, friends? GCR. I've got video on him and stuff. GCR, gigantic Cascock rebirth. The greatest crypto forecaster. He puts a public bet with Do Kwon for $10 million. And the bet is, so he bet in, let's say it's March here. They bet that, I think, in 1 year, March 2022, that the price would be under $100. That line. He bet it like here, and then like, it was at zero soon. And he basically, when it went all the way down here, he actually like hedged himself, and he wrote, it's kind of like a chapter in his book. He's like, because the price went down so low. Yeah, he bought the equivalent Luna to like, protect against it going back up to parity, which he knew wouldn't, but like he did it anyway. It's like one of those things where you just, you do your final checklist. So, but think about this, right? It ran so long. Like if you gotta understand, like this is the tough part, friends. Where is the December of, here you go, December. Right here. Let's say you hear about this, you think, you know what, there's some dangerous leverage and stuff going on. So you don't know what comes next. You see this. Okay, you just see that. And then it dips back down, but then it starts running back up. You're like, what the hell? Now you're in March, 3 months later. Whoa. And look, you still don't know it's over. It could like make a higher low. Now it's in May. It could make a higher low. Bang. See how dangerous that is, man? That the 98% drop. Also, yeah, fun fact, but not really fun for us. Yeah, Luna with its airdrop to giving everyone, it's down the same amount as Hex. So Luna, friends, the only reason why people think Luna was a scam is because it just dropped so fast. Yeah, but Hex dropped over time. You know what I mean? Like over time, comes back up, and it did that over time. So it's kind of like it sent a signal to everyone and me. We learned, oh, people are okay if you kind of like slide down over time because it seems like you're trying. Whereas if things just go to zero fast, it feels like there's foul play because it doesn't give anybody a chance to get out if you think about it. So even then, that wasn't the end, by the way. So even if you're like, oh, Luna, no. Bored Apes peak on May 1st, 2022. And I've just got it right here so you can see. Look at that. They actually top out, far out, May 1st. And they were like euphoric during this time still. They're still euphoric as May happens to appear, right? That's nuts, man. That's tough, friends. So what I've done is, like I did this for you all off memory. I knew these off the back of my heart. So I went from you. Wave 1, alt season, Doge, May 2021. And then something still finished off at the end. May of 2022. May 2021 to May 2022. 12 months difference. Now, as we know, right, the first alt season wave was the real peak for 90% of coins. Okay, it was actually this one. Why? It's because, friends, what happened during this period, remember, China, evil scammers, and Joe Biden trash government, we got robbed. China was the big one though. China banning Bitcoin. Oh man, because what it did is, you know, in the Bitcoin bull market, this is interesting, okay? In the Bitcoin bull market, Bitcoin never had a 50% retrace that basically crushed it so far. It hit an inflection point. So in another world, friends, Bitcoin was meant to stop at this 21 EMA here, 46K, but it didn't. Then China banned Bitcoin, and obviously then we realized we were getting dumped on here by all the scum Chinese miners. F2 pull, you pieces of trash. Hope you all rot in hell, you freaking scam and scum. So they're all distributing all on here, and yeah, we got basically thanks for playing. You know what I mean? We got GG'd. And then we got man, they caused Bitcoin to drop here. Now, this was the critical part. Bitcoin, top to bottom, dropped 54% on that ban. That was the killer. The most critical moment in any bull market, in the bull market before, was that 40% zone. Most critical. That's why there was still hope it would be okay. Like, oh, we're gonna manage. It didn't. It basically just went, no, bang, 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 just sliced right through. And then yeah, that sent the altcoins down 70%. That hadn't happened before. And then it was game over from that point. Now, it did have the complacency rally here. That's right, friends. Why did Bitcoin come back to the top? Because it was a Bitcoin-centric cycle. You remember 2013 was Bitcoin's double bubble. Then we had the altcoin double bubble in 2017. Then it was back to the Bitcoin double bubble in 2021. That's why I've been saying for like 2 years, I'm like, man, I have a double bubble prophecy for altcoins in this one. It's an altcoin focus cycle. Then Donald Trump comes in. Now Donald Trump's buying altcoins, releases his meme coin. And that's why I've been telling you, oh my gosh, we might actually we're actually going to make it like the double bubble alt season prophecy. Like I've been talking about it for a long time. Right here, all my videos. Oh man, all my videos for a long time, man. That's wild. So friends, this is Somi before videos, man. Before I was even on camera. Man, that double bubble alt season. So yes, that's that like all the stars, they are aligning. Like it's pretty much, that's like there's the only thing left to do now is pray. That's it. Like everything's done. So I hope you learned that. Now, after seeing all this, if we're going to moggle the non-believers, does that mean we sell early or sell late? You can do what you want. No financial advice, friends. I don't know the answers. I'm helping you with the expectations. I'm trying to tell you, if you are in something that goes up early, it can top out and then other things go out later and then your thing never comes back. That's possible. Also, if you're in something that hasn't moved as much as you want, yeah, it could move in wave 2 as well. So in a nutshell though, I think the most like generic formula that you could give is what I've been telling you. Like, if you wait until the end of this year, Q4, looking to like de-risk, that has worked well 3 out of 3 times. It doesn't mean that there won't be opportunity in like 2026, January, February, March, who knows, right? It doesn't mean that. It just means like on average, you got to plan for the uncertainties. So now you're aware, right? Isn't that pretty useful? Because that's how everyone gets destroyed, man. Do you know what happens? Friends, there were some nasty KOLs. Like I'm leaving it in the back now. I don't want to talk about evil, dark, scum, curse, cockroach gut, soy boys. But there were some KOLs that were dumping on their audience the whole time. Here. But then what actually happened was they're using their profits. They were dumping all their ICOs and stuff. They're telling everybody, oh, it's gone 400x, while they're literally just dumping their unlocks, you know? Obviously, you're not surprised. That's why meme coins came around, because people were sick of that. Now, what they were doing was they were all selling. Yeah, they were selling their altcoins here, and they raised capital. A lot of them. There's a lot of them, and I know this off by heart because I was watching everyone. Right? Remember, I'm not gonna tell you any names, so don't worry about them. But when Bitcoin came back to around this 40K zone, they used a lot of their profits. They bought more Bitcoin. You know, and then they say, oh, now I'm kind of like bullish again. But actually what happened was everything just went down. And everyone was bullish here. Everyone. And there was a straight rejection. You know what happened here, friends, on this day? Literally this day, Do Kwon bought 40,000 Bitcoin. He bought it right here. And then the market just went bang, 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 bang. Literally, he bought 40,000 BTC and he backed UST with it. And it wasn't enough, by the way. It was only, I think, 20% backed at that point if you use the bid of Luna and stuff out here. So I'm just showing you. By the way, this is the worst part. You know when we got down here, friends, down here, all the KOLs, you know how they rebought at like 40K and told everybody it's cheap because they still think 100K is coming and stuff. They started gaslighting their community. They said, oh, you should have taken profit. It was your fault. It was your fault, all your fault. And I was like, bro, I was watching you guys every single time. Not a single time were you telling people to do that. You were telling people your new poker starter coin and Pokemon, not Pokemon, Pokemon, P-O-L-K, all these other crap, garbage, Polkadot, trash, Cardano kids and Cardano start launch and all this other khara, all these like just fake trash insider grifters, all Polkadot related. You guys are saying they were going another 40x. I was watching all your videos. They would. By the way, friends, do you know what happened? Mr. Beast got caught dumping like $13 million worth. They all got caught. And that's unfortunately. Then you had the anger part that appeared out here. But now you know, right? It still took a while. So if you were calling it in December, the tough part is you're down 50% from the top of your portfolio. But I've armed you with friendship, haven't I? Because we will now have to use our biggest, strongest tools in our brains. From now on, when we enter a minus 50% zone, it's a minus 2x, not minus 50%. We use different frames of the words because how easy it is to make a 2x in crypto. Quite easy. Even Bitcoin does multiple x's. Okay, so if you can tell yourself, oh, I'm only down a 2x, right? Instead of saying down 50%, you say, oh, I'm only down a 2x, I can get out, I'll just make the money back later. You would have made the right decision at the end of 2021. So what I'm doing is protecting just in case 2025, this year tops out earlier and you're down a 2x again. If you're down a 2x here compared to like in the middle of the year, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? And if there is no alters, you don't know. It's just something to think about to help protect yourself. Like, subscribe, bell button, I'll catch you soon.